Just like yesterday, it really is super easy. Again, but every year I see on the ERBs, these are things that we can do better on. And like I said, I usually don't spend much time because I just think they're easy. All right, which I think has been a mistake. All right, you need to review this information. Just like I said, how many degrees are there in a circle again? Bless you. Yeah, there are 360 degrees. All right, so we have quite a bit of work to do today, but I'm not really going to give you any homework. All right, because I want to go through this. All right, and then tomorrow we're going to finish it up. All right, so the first thing is we're going to talk about here. It says the pie graph shows the information on the number of farm animals owned by some farm owners. Use the pie graph to answer the question. Okay, so let's look here real quick. So it says down here, if you looked at this, Walter owns how many? 120. All right, I don't have to read everything. All right, every person there next to their name has the number of animals, right? Now, in order to find a percentage, what number is critical before you can tell me what percentage? Like Walter, how do I figure out what percent he is?
We have to add up all the numbers.
Thank you so much. I feel much better now. All right, this is part of the why I think it's easy. I think you should already know that. All right, so if we want to find the percent, we have to find how many total animals there are. All right, so use your calculator if you need to. And I want everybody to put down on their paper, total is equal to, and what was the total, Jacob?
300.
Is that right, 300, guys?
Yes.
All right, so listen, and I also want to say this, guys. I'm not saying it's 300. I'm asking you guys. I don't know what it is. Is it 300?
Yeah.
Okay, now here's what's frustrating for me for some of you guys. I don't want you just writing down 300 because someone said it's 300. I want you to verify the work. That's what part of the problem is for some of you. You're not doing the work with me. You're just saying, okay, well, they're saying it's 300, so it's 300, and you write 300 down. You need to verify that for yourself. All right? So now I want to look at Walter. Before I answer any of the questions, what I want to do now is, how do I figure out what percent Walter is? What would I do? Thank you.
120.
Yes, thank you. You would just simply take 120, and everybody write that down in that little pie chart. 120 divided by 300, and tell me what that is using your calculator, but you may not need your calculator, but we have a calculator, so. No, I'm asking Austin, go. What does it say on your calculator? 0.4, thank you. On the calculator it says 0.4. And 0.4 is the same as Austin what? 40%. All right, everybody should be able to do that. Everybody should be able to do that. All right, so now let's talk about Andrew. All right, Andrew has 90. So what percent would Andrew be? Kiara, how do we do that? 90 over 300. That's correct. 30%. All right. Daniel, Alden, how do I do Daniel?
So for Daniel, you do 50 divided by 300.
50 divided by 300, which is?
0.16666.
So we say 0.16, repeating, stop. Now what percent is that?
That would be 16%.
Good, 16, and I actually want everybody to write 16 and 2/3%. 6 is repeated, you should automatically know is 2/3. Somebody have any issues with 16 and 2/3%? If you put 16.7, I'm not going to be mad at you. I would just prefer that you know that 6 is repeating is 2/3. All right? So Jerry, what percent does Jerry have?
Jerry has 3%.
How did you get that?
Well, I did 10 divided by 300.
Uh-huh.
And I got 3.
But it would be, wouldn't it be 0.03 repeating?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Do 10 divided by 300. Let's just make sure.
Yeah.
So 0.03 repeating. Now what I want you to do for that is I want you to tell me that's the same as 3 and 1/3%. 3 and 1/3%. That's what I want you to know. All right. And finally, let's do Jason. Go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Jason will be 30 over 300,
Right.
and that would equal 0.1, which is 10%.
Right. 0.1, which is equal to 10%. That's what I want to see when I collect this. All right. And like I said, I don't understand the trouble with these pie graphs or circle graphs. I don't understand. All right. So now let's talk about it. All right. So now let's answer the question. So what percent is Jason's? Everybody should be able to tell me that's just what?
10%.
10%. And what fraction does Andrew have? What fraction does Andrew have? So tell me what fraction.
Fraction Andrew,
Go ahead, say it.
90 or
90 over
300.
yes, but then we're going to reduce it. 90 over 300.
So 30.
All right? No, we're going to reduce that fraction. So if I'm going to reduce that fraction, what can I do to the zeros? Don't use a calculator.
Oh, cross.
Cross them out. So now you have 9 over 30, which reduces to what? Come on, we can do this.
Or, like,
Yeah.
30.
3 over what? Come on, dividing by what? Dividing by 3.
Oh, 10.
Right. You agree with that? All right, I know some of you might be a little rusty from this long vacation. Is everybody okay with that? So you have to answer the right, if it wants it a percent, as a decimal, as a fraction. All right? You have to review all that. All right? Now, could we type that in the calculator or let the calculator do the fraction? Yes, but is that necessary? No. You should be able to reduce that pretty quickly. All right? Anybody have any questions with that? All right? So now I want to take a look at who has the most number of animals. It's kind of a dumb question. What is it? Or who is it? Walter. Okay. What is the total percent of animals owned by Jason and Walter? What's the total percent owned? Miss Hayes.
50%.
Jason and Walter. How much is it? 50%. Thank you. Right? Everybody okay with that?
No, I thought it would have been 70%.
Well, how much is Jason?
Jason only has 40%.
I mean, how much is Walter?
Or no, Walter has 40%.
And Jason has what?
30%.
Why 30? Shh. Leave him alone.
Yeah, no, I did.
No, it doesn't matter. I'm asking you, do you understand?
Yeah.
So what is the answer?
The answer is 50%.
Yeah. You good? Because Jason owns what?
Oh, I think Walter and Andrew. Not
Okay. You're good. I don't care. All right. So you understand it now, right?
Yeah.
So 50%.
I did.
Now, how many animals are owned by Daniel? That's kind of silly. 50. All right. 50. Now, again, I'm not sure. No, we're not done with this page. Trust me. We're not done. All right. So go back. All right. Because one of the most important things you do this year is you have to figure out what degree. All right. So if Walter is 40%, I want to know if I were to measure this angle from here to here, what would that degree measure be? What would that degree measure be? Do you know?
I think it's like -1. It's something minus 360.
That's exactly correct. It's part of 360.
160 minus.
No. How many degrees are in a circle?
360.
360. What percent is Walter? So we want 40% of what?
360.
Now what does of in math mean? Multiply. So I need you to take 40% of 360 degrees. So if we were to measure that, that should be how many degrees? 144 degrees. So I want everybody to put 144 degrees. Now for Andrew, how many degrees is Andrew? No.
Wait.
How many degrees would Andrew be? Tell me.
No.
You have a calculator. I want you to use your calculator. All right. How many degrees would Andrew be?
108.
108 degrees. Now, how do we get that? Again, it is 30% of 360. So if I were to measure Andrew, that would be how many degrees again?
108.
108 degrees. All right. What about Jason? All right. Jason would be how many degrees? 36 degrees, right? Everybody okay? That's an easy one. Now, stop for a second. Stop for a second, please. I'm going to put 36 degrees up here. Now, I want someone, eyes up, eyes up, eyes up. Come on. I'm always amazed at how people don't understand numbers. I mean it. Look up. Someone tell me how many degrees Jace or Jerry would be without using a calculator. Look up on the board. How many degrees would Jerry be? Bless you. How many? Yeah, what do you think? What?
13 degrees.
What? What? Cece, tell me. Come on. Tell me what? Oh, come on. I'm a miserable teacher. What?
5.
What? Tell us.
I just know it's low.
Yes, we know what's low. Come on now. Brilliant. We know it's lower because this is how many? How many animals? Shh. Just a second. I'm going to let you tell me. How many animals here?
30.
How many animals here? This should be what?
Divided by 3.
Divided by 3. Thank you.
12.
That's being smart. So that's going to be how many? 12 degrees. 12 degrees. Come on now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Guys, put your heads up here and tell me. I'm trying to make you a little bit smarter here. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, if we did 360, everybody type in your calculator now. 360 times 10 divided by 300. It should be 12.
Yes.
Does everybody agree with that? Now, I'm not asking you, but I'm asking you to look up here. Do you understand? I can't walk around the room and say, do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it? You have to be paying attention. You have to be interested in those numbers. All right? I knew that was 12 degrees without doing any work. All right? So now I want to look at, this is 12. All right? This is 12 degrees. Now, I'm going to ask you to figure out what degree Daniel would be, knowing only this. I'm going to highlight something now. Please pay attention because we can do it with the calculator. This right here is how many degrees?
144.
This is how many?
108.
This is how many down, Jerry? And this is what? So what could I do?
Times 5 or 9.
Oh, yeah, we could even do that. Very smart. I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah, tell me what you could do. Say it again. That was brilliant.
Which one? Times 5.
Times 5. We could just do 12 times 5 because this is what? 50, which is 5 times that. So 12 times 5 would be what? 60 degrees. So this one would be 60 degrees. Now, the other way I was going to tell you, which I think is smart too, put your hand down and listen to me for a second. I want everybody to add these degrees. 12 plus 36 plus 144 plus 108. Do that on your calculator real quick. Come on, do that on your calculator real quick. Don't let someone else do the work. 300. So that's how we could say 360 minus 300 gives us how much left? 60 degrees. So there's lots of different ways to calculate the degrees. Lots of different ways. Do you have a question?
I don't understand the 5.
Okay, so look.
But could that only work on 12?
No, what I'm saying is, do you understand this? I want to show you something really important. Do you understand 30 and 10?
Yeah.
We said 10 was 1/3.
1/3.
So I just divided 36 by 3.
Yeah.
Now 50 is 5 times 10. So it would have to be 5 times the degrees. So 5 times 12 is 60 degrees. That's how I knew that. Right? Come on now. If you're not sure, I'm okay. I'll say it again. You want me to say it again?
Yeah.
All right, so look. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to erase this right here. I'm going to show you something. And I want you to tell me, do you agreed with me that Jerry is 12 degrees, right?
Yeah.
Right, so now what I'm going to ask you is I'm going to ask you to look at this. I'm asking you to tell me, Daniel has how many times more animals than Jerry? That means he would have 5 times the number of degrees.
I get it.
You with me? Because again, you understood from 36 to 12, you divided by 3, it's the same principle. 5 times larger. All right? So again, that is the important part. On the ERB, sometimes they ask you to measure with fractions, with percentages, with decimals. And I was amazed at how many people did not fully understand that concept right there. All right? I don't understand it, actually. All right, so if you're in here and you're not understanding what I'm saying, please speak up. I promise you, you're going to see it. All right, understanding circle graphs is honestly a lot of statistics are done with circle graphs. All right, yes.
So for degrees on Andrew, why isn't it like a right? It's a cute thing. But why isn't it?
I know, because they didn't do a good job. You're 100% right on that. Very important. All right, people who make these worksheets up don't know really angles, right? They just made up the numbers and stuck them in there, not realizing that someone's going to check them on their work. All right, so we're checking them. So that was another great observation, very important observation, actually. All right, that's an acute angle. How can it be 108 degrees? Well, because the people making the worksheets don't know about degrees. All right, that's why. All right, so let's look at the next one. All right, here we go. Now the difference between this one and the previous one is this time they give you how many people were surveyed. They give you how many people were surveyed. All right? So it says 108 people were surveyed on their favorite breakfast. 1/6 of the people said they like toast. So how many people like toast? What do I have to do? Someone tell me how to figure out. How many people said toast? What would I do?
1/6 divided by 100.
Well, you're correct, but you didn't say it correct. I would take 108 and do what?
Then the proof.
108.
Turn into a fraction.
108 what? Times what?
1/6.
Times 1/6. Not divided. Or you could just say 108 divided by 6. All right? So again, in this little area right here, I want everybody to write 108 times 1/6. All right, and what is that?
18.
18. I don't think so.
That's what I
That's
did.
what I got.
108 divided by 6?
Fine.
Or times 1/6?
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
weird.
So that's a 10.
Wait a minute. I would like everybody on their calculator to do 108.
It's 108 divided by 6.
I think it's 100.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Man, I'm just not thinking. All right? Yes,
I don't.
that is correct. I'm sorry. You're right. It is 18. All right, so that means 18 people said toast. All right. So now cereal. How do I find this cereal? What am I doing? Go.
2 nines. Well,
2 ninths times what?
108.
Come on. 2 ninths times 108. And what was that? 24. So let's put a 24. And then hash browns. You get it? Tell me how much is hash browns? Right. So what was that? $12. Thank you. All right, Weber, you got pancakes. How many pancakes? How many people like pancakes?
So you do 108
Right.
times 1
And tell me.
36.
Yes, 36. And then who's got bagels? Go.
So bagels would be 12.
Bagels would be 12.
Say what?
Yes, because we already had it. Beautiful. All right. So now the next thing I want to do. Oh, we didn't do eggs. How many people liked eggs? Go. Yes,
Is 6.
6 people.
That's
All right. So there we go. That's again what I want to see tomorrow. All right. I'm doing more than the worksheet. All right. I'm doing more than the worksheet. All right. Now, for this, now that we have that, I want to talk about what would be the angle measure. All right. What would be the angle measure? All right. So Austin, what would be the angle measure, for example, like pancakes? What would I do?
Oh, you can just convert the fraction into percent.
Or you can just say 360 what?
Oh. Divided by 18.
No, 360 times 1/3. So I want to put that in there.
Oh,
So we're going to do 306 because
yeah.
yeah, so 360 times 1/3 because a third of them. All right, so the third of the number of degrees would be what? How many? 120 degrees. So that measure of that angle would be 120, right? Everybody okay with that? All right, so now for a bagel. Somebody tell me how many degrees the bagel would be. 40 degrees, yes. The bagel would be 40 degrees. Make sure you're marking that. Now, again, I'm trying to emphasize to you guys, though, I don't want you just writing 40 degrees without knowing that. All right? All right, so hash browns would also be what?
40 degrees.
40 degrees, because we already did that. All right. Now, cereal. What would be the fraction, Miss Skemp, for cereal?
2 ninths times 2.
That's correct. Shh. Yes, I'm happy with that. 80 degrees. And then what would the toast be? How many degrees for toast? Go ahead. I don't care. Who figured it out? How many?
60 degrees.
I think toast would be 60 degrees. All right. Did we do the egg? No, what's the egg?
Wait a minute, we did 6.
20 degrees. The egg would be 20 degrees. Okay. So I think that measured all the angles, correct? All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. All right. Now let's answer the question. How many people like to eat cereal for breakfast? How many people? Yeah, now it's just a matter of taking the data and answering the question. So 24. Which food got half the number of votes of the bagel? Well, how many was a bagel?
12.
12. So which one had half?
Egg.
Eggs. Yes. All right, and this, like I'm saying, I don't understand why people are missing this or why people miss this. Hopefully I taught you something today. All right, hopefully you figured out the percent, the decimal, the fraction, all those things. And then just answer the question. All right? So let's look at number 3. How many people would like to have toast? How many people would like to have toast?
18.
18. How many people did not, how many people did not vote for pancakes? How many people did not vote for pancakes? Ryan, why don't you tell me?
72.
Thank you. 72, kiddo. And then, which morning meal is the favorite choice of 18 people? And of course, that would be what?
Toast.
Toast. Now, does everybody understand? I just don't know why that's tricky. Or does anybody have any doubts? Anybody have any questions? What's the matter?
For finding the angles, why do we do the percentage times 360 on the first problem, but on the second problem we do 360 times fraction?
It's the same. Exactly the same. Because a percentage can be written as a what?
A fraction. I mean,
Yes, you said it correctly. Right? So you're always multiplying the total by the fraction or the total by the percent. Right? Okay. So now, what time do we get out here, guys?
17.
So we got 7 minutes, right? So listen to me, guys. Here is what I want you to do now. Listen, all right, which I'm sure you can get done in 7 minutes. I want the same thing, right? Here, there's how much money do they make a month?
7,000.
They make $7,000 a month. You have to divide that money into housing, food, miscellaneous, entertainment, clothing, and savings. Everybody agree with that? Then you have to tell me the angle measure. Do you agree with that? Then you have to answer those 5 questions. Hey, is everybody hearing me? That's all your homework is. Take the $7,000, divide it up amongst those 3, or amongst those different housing, savings, clothing, right? And then tell me the degree measure of each wedge, and then answer those 5 questions. That's it. All right, is everybody good? All right, get to work, guys. I appreciate the day today. Good job. Let's go. Come on, get to work. I'd like for you to have no homework. All right, and then tomorrow I'm going to show you how to construct the circle graph.